Hello, everybody, and welcome to Miami for the drivers' press conference as well, and your weekend preview. We're in commentary box B, but still got the wonderful background as well. Megan should be taking over. She's just standing alongside me here, actually, as well.
More like commentary box C.
Yeah, more like commentary box C, actually, as well. But the problem is, as we've just discovered, it's 8:01. And we currently have no action from the drivers' press conference because Sky F1 are showing F1 Academy once again with Darren Adetossier. So we are now sort of just standing around it, sort of waiting for the press conference because Sky F1 have failed to see what they're going to do. Megan?
Maybe the drivers weren't ready. Maybe they waiting for someone, so they thought they'd stick this on.
Yeah, that's a possibility if they're waiting for someone as well. So I suppose get your questions in on the YouTube chat while I'm here. I should be at PSGL, which is why Megan's taking over this show, and we're not in our usual commentary box, but we are just waiting to see as well. I'm going to go on hashtag SkyF1 as well and see if there's anything there as well. Green screens do come in handy as well, but we haven't got too much great camera, so it's a bit difficult to get going. But in the first part of the press conference, we should see Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda, Kevin Magnussen, Lando Norris and Sergio Perez. But at this time, there isn't anybody coming in as well. So I'm just Googling hashtag SkyF1 to see what the issue is, because we should be having it and we're not. So I suppose that's always fantastic to see the latest. Well, it's actually the Sky F1's been taken over by Germany as well, so that's always a fun thing. Sky Sports F1. Apparently, there's something wrong at the base. So, well, this is great. We get told, yeah, it's going to be on at this time, and it's now not on. This is what we're hearing right now. In fact, we'll go over to the Sky.
Entering the sport so that the talent pool increases and the best can really rise through the ranks. We're breaking down the whole difficulty of the transition into single-seater racing.
Yeah, and that's it. That's what we've got, Megan.
So what you're telling me is Sky F1's been taken over by the Germany. So is it now Sky Sports F1?
That's a possibility, isn't it? They've got it Formula 1 as well. I have no idea what is going on at the moment.
For those of you who don't know, eins means one in German.
Eins means one in German, in case you didn't hear that as well. This is why this being in this commentary box is not really working, because there's nothing we can talk about as well as we wait for Sky F1 to have their issues. Well, look, there they are, look! Social updates, we know why you're all here. We don't intend on stopping. So, look, they're all there. They're in the press conference. We can see they're in the press conference. And yet there's nothing here for the press conference. And it is scheduled 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then the F1 Academy highlights are now being shown twice. So if anybody has an idea as to why this is and why we can't see our press conference and we're seeing another repeat of F1 Academy, please do tell me. Use the hashtag JB Motorsports on YouTube as well. Megan.
Bad planning.
Oh, yes. Bad planning indeed. Well, let's take this opportunity then to go through a little bit of the smooth as well and talk about what's been happening as well since you left us 7 days ago. Well, the launch date has been confirmed for Formula 1 2023 as well. The brand new game will come out on June the 16th, and it's going to feature the return of red flags to the game as well, which can be actually fantastic. And I'll tell you what though, Megan, if I just dive out of the way here so that people can see, this is the new paddock area. You dive in the way. This is the new paddock area as well. If I'm going to have to go completely out of the way.
I wanted to see
yes. This is the new, look at that green screen now. This is the new paddock area as well, and that is where they are going to be having all of the team representatives there as well, and everyone is all set, ready to go. If anybody has a reason why Sky Sports F1 isn't working, let us know. Twitter has got nothing. Yeah, bad planning as well. I bet it's on here at 20 past and we're just standing around doing nothing now. As well, this is actually really interesting stuff, but I've just had a thought as well that we can hear some driver interviews in this time. If I am incredibly clever and do what I thought I was going to do, we can hear from some drivers and not have to wait for the press conference to come in as well, thanks to the fact that we do have a Twitter up here in the commentary box as well, and Ted Kravitz has been patrolling around as well, getting us some information. So if I go to battle screen 4 and just turn off the video capture device, it does mean that we can hear things from Sky F1 as well. So thank you, Twitter, for this as we wait to see. First up on the roster, let's hear from the ever charming as well homeboy for this event. Let's hear from Logan Sargent.
I ask you, Logan, how proud are you with the way it's been done here in America? I mean, America hasn't just dipped its toe in F1, it's done an amazing job.
Yeah, it's really gone for it, that's for sure. I mean, I was at this race last year, and I can already see how much it's been improved from last year. The circuit looks a lot better. The way everything's set up just seems much more sensible and much nicer. And that's really nice. And yeah, I mean, all three US Grand Prix are, super special for me. And to have three of them is insane. So I'm going to enjoy every second of them. And I love how committed the Grand Prix have been to make them as good as they can for the fans.
I ask you, Logan, how proud are you?
Absolutely fantastic then from Logan Sargent to see him back at this event as well. And certainly he is going to be a star of the future after some good results in the previous 3 races. Okay, we are waiting for the F1 Academy to effectively go off air because they've shown this same programme back to back. Let's hear what Esteban Ocon had to say talking with Craig Slater.
About the incident at the... Now listen, you spoke after Baku about the incident at the end and what happened there. Has anyone apologised to you for that? I mean, from the FIA, from the authorities, to put you into that situation through no fault of your own?
FIA have apologized and Formula One. They assured us that this is not going to happen anymore. Thank God nothing happened. All good from now on.
Because you had to slow down. I mean, I know it's maybe trivial, but it could have cost you a place as well. That's the least you're worried about, but it's not right. They have to respect the competitors.
I mean, we are racing at the time. It's of course normal that there shouldn't be anyone in the pit lane until we are racing like that. But as I said, these things are normally not going to happen. FIA have assured us that they are making sure they are changing the protocols and making sure there's nobody in the pit lane until the end. So, I'm confident we are not going to see that anymore.
Great to hear then on Esteban Ocon and what he made of that drama as well last time out on the restarts as well. Now we are waiting, we believe, until 20 past the hour. Yeah, for all of the action. So another 10 minutes as well until we hear from the F1 Academy getting off air and the actual show coming on, which is annoying everybody, none the least me and Megan, because I have to be at PSGL. Megan was very kindly stepping in to host this show as well, and Megan has work to do and needs the laptop that she's currently using. So
they're basically delaying my education because I have psychology work to do.
Yeah, that's not really working with one microphone. We're going to have to find a better solution for that as well here as well. So,
and I'm coming up to exams. Literally, they're 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I think that's just easier. I think it's just easier at this point to do that. In fact, actually, considering it's not on at the moment, do you want to give me that handheld microphone behind you? We could just stick that in as well, which is a lot easier to talk to people about as well. That's the one. Yeah, there we go. Look, see? There we go. That's going to make it. In fact, Megan, let's...
Then I have to hold it.
Okay. Okay, well, let's have a word actually first of all with David Croft and see, did he actually deserve? Let's see, does Perez deserve to win Azerbaijan?
The safety car on Max Verstappen. It's a really good question actually, because he was gaining before the safety car on Max Verstappen, and we know that he is the tyre whisperer, Checo Perez. He nurses those rear tyres, which is a very good way to try and win around the streets of Baku. Karun Chandler and myself had a chat with Hugh Bird on the way back from Baku. Hugh is Sergio Perez's race engineer. And we said, well, you know, we lost out in the battle. Max and Sergio, now there wouldn't have been a battle. He'd have caught him and he'd have got him. And he was absolutely convinced that Sergio would have managed to get past Max, and in the second stint on a one-stop race would have gone on and extended that lead.
Which would have been massive if you think about that. Someone
Absolutely.
doing that. We've not really seen that since Hamilton and Verstappen.
It's a really good question, actually. It's a really good.
Okay, so fantastic from the team, and now me and Megan have opened up all of our handheld microphones so that we can actually have a chat. If you want to,
Kneeling down.
you're kneeling down. Do you want to get up a little bit, because it's quite hard from where you are?
No.
Okay, well, we're just waiting around now as well in the spare commentary box.
It's comfortable to sit like this.
Yeah, so Megan's going to be off screen sort of thing, as well as we wait for the press conference to actually start. And with that, I think we should take a look then at the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship coming into this event. And one thing I always like to see, and I'm very delighted that we've got this at the moment, is that Fernando Alonso, after not being on the podium last time out, actually hasn't been that disadvantaged by that fact. He's still in third position. Charles Leclerc, who did finish third, is closing in on that title fight, but isn't going to be a big factor towards it. So
History doesn't really think he's going to get it.
no, you're right. And history certainly doesn't. But let's just take a look at it. It's Max Verstappen. He's top on 93 points. Sergio Perez is 6 points back on 87. Alonso is on 60. Hamilton is on 48. Sainz on 34. Leclerc and Russell are level on 28. Stroll's a point back from them, actually, on 27. Norris now has 10 after a double point score finish in Azerbaijan in the sprint and the feature, and also back in Australia. Then if you look further on as well, down, you'll see Hülkenberg round out the top 10 in 6th. Piastri, Bottas, Ocon and Gasly are all level on 4 points each. 2 for Zhou and Tsunoda, 1 Albon and Magnussen and Sargent on 0 as well. So, and De Vries as well, as I said, on 0 after crashing out. Megan, question about Nick De Vries, if you would just pop up here for a second. I'll pass the microphone down to you. There she is. I'll pass the microphone down to you down there. Nick De Vries, is he at risk of being fired? There was a lot of talk in the media that De Vries was going to be out by the mid-season point. A driver who had such stardom in Monza last year, finishing P9 in Williams, hasn't had a great start to the season this year.
Does any rookie?
No, but he has retired in quite a few of the races so far this year.
So did Mick.
Yeah, and Mick got kicked out of Haas and ended up down.
2 years later.
Okay, that's true. I'll just you can hold on to that. That is true, but he did kicked out 2 years later. But is it fair enough to say that this isn't really the best start that they were expecting?
It's the start of a season. A lot of people don't really have that great starts to it. I mean, look at Nicholas Latifi. He spent all that time down at the bottom and he never got kicked out of F1 for years. And he never won a race.
Well, he got a few points.
He got some points some years into his career, though still, you never won a race and you only got points when everyone else was crashing out. I think Nick's safe.
All right, if you're fair enough, then thank you for that, mate. Okay, if you think that as well, Mick probably is safe. We'll keep an eye on that.
And if not, then F1 are being hypocritical.
Yeah, Nick, not Mick, I meant to say. Let's take a look then at the Constructors' Championship. And it's Red Bull on 180, Aston Martin 87, Mercedes 76. Then we get Ferrari ahead of McLaren. Alpine is on 8 points. They're one clear of Haas. Alfa Romeo 6, Alfa Tauri on 2, and Williams on 1 as well, and it's taking a lot of time, but Darren Adetossier is just wrapping up on F1 Academy, which means hopefully in the next few moments we are going to have the drivers press conference, and I understand it is going to be the drivers press conference uninterrupted via ad break. So they're going to show the first half and then they're going to immediately go live to the second half, which is going to be fantastic news. So Megan, I'm going to hand you the headset as well, because I've got to just change around some positions. Actually, both. I'm going to keep the mic. I'll keep the headset, actually, because we're losing the mic. So I'm going to give you the mic, because I've got to take that out now of the charger port, moving it out of the way, because we are getting set to go into all the action. And, we've got ourselves in a right muddle up now. Oh, they are clear. Good. Megan feels like she's being attacked by us. Honestly, this commentary box C, in fact, is getting absolutely in the mess. I've just chucked a microphone out the way as well. So I think we've gone through the majority of the news. It's a weird wonder they're not breaking, Megan has just said as well. And if you can hear, we are almost all set for the drivers to head off as well into the media pen, and we will hear from them. I'm really hopeful that the lobby hasn't started. If you could go on to PSGL and look at F2 for me, because we've done about 18 minutes of fill work when we weren't supposed to, on the non-news coming into this weekend's race. Charles Leclerc has said as well, he's in the press conference, and Leclerc's already in his press conference segment. So we've got no idea why Sky F1 scheduled. Yeah, we've got to wait for the ads. Oh, Megan's ads. Yeah, we have no idea why Sky scheduled their show at 8 and have put it on at 8:20. So absolutely insane. Bad planning as well. You can get that now. It's PSGL. Okay, what time are they on as well? Oh, there's 7 minutes. Plenty of time, then I can give Megan control and I'll run away to the other end of the commentary box. So thank you to everyone for sticking with us in this one as well. We understand it's a bit of a crazy way to welcome you to the weekend here in Miami. Normal service will be resumed shortly, and normal service will be resumed for first practice tomorrow as well with myself. Are you in first practice, Megan? Nodding or smiling? 7 o'clock in the evening if you want to be in there, if you want to be there first practice. Depends, she says, on how she feels. Yeah, it's an evening race, so it suits you better, actually, coming into this one. Right, Vision Express advert coming on as well. We're seeing all our Twitter things come through as well. So we're all sort of rearing to go. We're expecting to go, and we're not going, which is really frustrating everyone. Megan says she keeps seeing the Vodafone Wall things. Yeah, it's the Vision Express. Okay. I want to thank everybody for still watching, because we are in an absolute pickle waiting for this to come through. We are, however, I'm delighted to say, about to cross over to Tom Clarkson in the driver's press conference. Megan will then take the hot seat as well, and if there is an ad break, she'll talk you through some news as well and her thoughts on the press conference. Hopefully not. I'm going to run off to PSGL and hopefully get that sorted, but I am bemused by the fact that Sky keep doing this. They've changed their press conference format 3 times now this year without telling anybody, and it is getting really frustrating to work out who is where. Don't forget, they're also going to show a minute intro. We've now got the noise going on in our ears as well, ready for it. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm certainly glad, Megan, I didn't leave the commentary box for you in charge, because it was going to be utter nonsense.
I would have just talked about how it's Star Wars Day.
That is true. May the 4th be with you. And also with you, yes, okay. Okay, right, we've done 20 minutes of talking that we didn't plan to, thanks to Sky's bad planning. Should we just get on with it? It's time to go over to the press conference. Oh, I don't believe it. There's no press conference. We're now going over to Normandy in France. What is going on? What is going on? There's no press conference. There is 0 press conference that we are hearing from. I have no idea what is going on, but there is zero press conference at a scheduled time. And now this is what we were talking about everything, and now there's absolutely nothing. And now I'm slightly annoyed actually that there isn't a press conference. I'm fuming too because we could have done a lot of things here. So Sky Sports F1 is, to be fair, TV Guide broken because something's completely different to what it's supposed to be. Well, the press conference is there, and we're not hearing from anyone. So let's see if there's any information from Twitter, shall we, about some Sky F1 stuff that we can play you. We've already heard from Logan Sargent, Esteban Ocon, and David Croft as well. I'd love to get a few more, but I think we're going to have to sign off because we can't keep waiting for things to come through. Yeah, it's getting a bit weird. Okay, we're going to go over and we're now going to hear from Charles Leclerc, who is third after his last round of the championship. So at least we can still hear from someone. Let's hear from Charles Leclerc.
Well, I mean, we still need to wait and see tomorrow where we are in relative to the others. I think we have a few new things on the car, which hopefully will help us do a step in the right direction. But yeah, it's not a secret that we are quite a lot behind in terms of race pace compared to Red Bull. So I think for Sunday we cannot expect any miracles. But I'll do my best to do something special on Saturday and then take the maximum points on Sunday. But again, as I said, I think Red Bull will be still in front.
Okay, so finally I think you need to go just one last one. Is it because they have this car that means that they might not get their tyres perfect for qualifying the way they set it up, but after lap 4, as it happened in Baku, when their tyres are up temperature, it was difficult for you to defend?
Honestly, I don't think it's something related to them doing not something right in qualifying.
No, it's the way they set up
their
car, the way their car is designed.
Yeah, well, it's difficult to say for us because we don't know exactly what's underneath the covers of this Red Bull. But one thing for sure is that they are doing something right for the race. And they can push on those tires without ever degrading them or overheating them, which for us is a big problem. Whenever we do 2 or 3 good laps, then we struggle a lot. Or then if I manage well the tires like I did in Baku, yes, towards the end of the run we were quite okay. But at the beginning we are losing so much to try and avoid to overheat those tires. So we need to find something.
Okay, I think we can't wait another 8 minutes until hour to see if we're going to change it because we've all got to be places and that's going to take a lot longer as well. So we've pretty much previewed a weekend that hasn't really happened and I'm very disappointed. I'm very, very sorry as well that we aren't able to bring you the press conference due to something with Sky Sports F1 going wrong as well. We've talked to the standings. There is, however, scheduled at 9 p.m. the weekend review from Baku. We've scheduled that earlier. That was supposed to air tomorrow. So at 9 p.m. Here on JP Motorsports, you can watch the weekend review from Baku with interviews from the drivers after the race as well. And tomorrow, in an extended first practice session, we will show the drivers' press conference if it ever comes up as well. So free practice 1 tomorrow will be an extended broadcast to hear from the drivers in the press conference, unless they come available in the next 1 minute 30, something like that, before I have to head to the commentary box. Otherwise, I don't think we can take it as well, because we've got to sort of wait until everything's over with. Yeah, well, that's normal, because PSGL priority. A minute left, plus 2 minutes extra. We might just get it there. I'm not too sure, but Twitter's not happy. Let me just get this straight as well. Live on Virgin TV Guide, Sky F1 Guide, all saying 8 till 9. It should be on Sky at 44 says it should be on Sky Sports F1 Live because there are screenshots right now, but I can't watch it on Sky Sports. I'm now seeing photos on Twitter from it, but Sky Sports isn't showing it. Just watching the karting. Ash at Ash full stop 12. So is Sky F1 actually showing the drivers' press conference tonight? First the Formula Academy documentary, and now one about Pierre and Esteban. I feel like there's so many Sky F1 channels. I don't know. The press conference should be on Sky. It's not currently appeared on Sky. However, I believe their interview is finished. So we're gonna wait one more because the features just closed off with these Alpine boys. Unless we're not going to Pierre Gasly. So if they don't show the press conference now, it's unlikely they are, but they're now in an ad break system as well. So we'll hold off just a second before I have to get down. Megan is monitoring PSGL. as well. But I've missed the entirety of qualifying. I'm so sorry, Richie. I've left you there. Well, we will wait because it's part of our service. So it's mechanism, but it's part of our service. If we can show the press conference, so we can. We've talked about what's coming up. We've heard from drivers who were in the media pen, being that of Charles Leclerc, Logan Sargent, Esteban Ocon, as well. So at least we've heard some drivers, but Charles Leclerc was supposed to be in the TV pen. So I'd much in the drivers' press conference, yeah. So I'd much rather actually wait and see if we can get there. What's the clock on PSGL? Checker flag's going to be out soon, I reckon, as well. Right, we've got a little bit of time. 2 minutes. Okay, so we've got plenty of time then.
You've got to counter in the fact that you've got to get there.
Yeah, that's 9 seconds from this commentary box to the other. So we might just wait for it as well.
Handing it over to me, that's
And that's fine. That's fine. I've just got to move out of the way, and you can sit down in the chair because I can just throw it over to Tom Clarkson. Yeah, Megan's sat down here just waiting for something to go. But we've been talking for 26 minutes about absolutely nothing because there isn't anything. But look at the wonderful Hard Rock Stadium behind us as well, where the this weekend's wonderful paddock is located. It's on the football field as well. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Hopefully we'll eventually get to see it, but right now we haven't. Qualifying's ended. Okay, I'm going to have to give over to Megan now as well because I've got to get down to PSGL for their race. Well, Megan, just keep talking for 2 minutes, and if they don't come on at the next break, sign off. But I have now unfortunately got to leave, so give us 30 seconds while we do a swap over.
Messing up my headphones. Honestly. Right, so I think it's just about to come on, if there is anything. Though, personally, I have my doubts about this.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I have my doubts about it being on. Though if it is on, then I have some very, very choice words for the people of Sky Sports F1. It's like, actually, do you know what? Either if it is on or isn't on, I have some very choice words because this means that I'll have to spend even more time in here when we should have been nearly done with the press conference, to be honest. It would have been 10 minutes away from ending, and then I could have actually got on with my work and also enjoyed Star Wars Day, because if anyone knows me, I love Star Wars, and this is ruining the day. Right. Better come on right now. Not a press conference, maybe something else, because I'd rather it be tomorrow instead, because then everyone won't be kept waiting. Right. Nothing as yet about anything. Hold on, let me see if I can reload the page. See if I can get any news, maybe.
Nothing.
Nope. Nada. Not a single thing. Sky Sports. A lot of adverts here. More than usual. Something tells me this is not looking good. We're now coming up to like 4 minutes of adverts. And it's... no, I don't think it's on. I really don't think it's on. If it is, then watch out, Sky, because either way you're about to get a lot of complaints. Right. Is it coming on? Is it coming on?
Maybe.
Something's coming on. Something tells me it's in the press conference. Right, so something to do with Formula 1 is coming on. Sky Sports, feel it all. F1, yeah. And it... come on, what is it? So far it's nothing. This ain't looking good. Right, so the F1 advert is done with, and coming on to this. It's a press conference, meaning I'm going to have to spend even more time. Great. We're going over to press conference now. Finally.
Welcome to the drivers' press conference ahead of the FIA Formula One Miami Grand Prix. Now, you're getting the hang of this. We have two groups coming your way this afternoon. First group, closest to me, we go George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Logan Sargent, Nick De Vries and Esteban Ocon. And to kick things off, we're going to the local hero, to Logan. Your first home race in Formula One. Just how special is this moment for you?
I thought I was going to get away from that sitting in the middle, but I guess not. No, it's good. It was nice to get home after Baku. I was able to spend 2 days at home to really recharge, get out on the water, which was nice. And yeah, I'm excited for this weekend. It's nice to be back in my well-known climate, which is extremely hot. But it's going to be a tough weekend, not knowing the track. It's a big hurdle to climb, but so to be able to race around it, to have the hospitalities set.
The US media, how you feel it's going? Best result of 12th in the Bahrain Grand Prix, but sum it all up for us.
Oh, ups and downs, good days, bad days, to be expected. I think I'm learning, every weekend, and I feel like it's coming more and more towards me. But yeah, I have to be more consistently at the top of my game, driving better each and every day. And yeah, definitely not satisfied. A lot of work to do, a lot to improve on, but it's moving in the right direction, and that's all that matters.
And Logan, what about this weekend then? What can the fans expect from you?
Oh, from me, I don't know. Well, I think considering not knowing the track, it's going to be a tough weekend for me. But back to a normal format, which is nice. I got 3 hours to build up to it, and yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty tight midfield. So we need to be comfortable going into qualifying and just deliver and get the job done.
All right, best of luck. Make sure you enjoy it. Nick, let's come to you next. So, Miami, are you getting the Miami vibe?
We do, but before starting about Miami, we like to give our thoughts to Faenza. Not sure if many of us has seen what is happening, but the village and the town has suffered from huge floods, and obviously our team is based over there, and we have friends and family over there that are having a tough time while we are here enjoying the heat. So we just wanted to quickly notify our thoughts with them, and hope that things will get better soon.
Yeah, and the whole Formula One family sends their condolences to people who have families of people who have lost life in and around the Emilia-Romagna region in Italy. But let's bring it on to this weekend. Nick, you're coming here on the back of a difficult weekend for you in Baku. Just how difficult is it to park what happened there and move on to a fresh weekend?
I think it really helps to go back racing straight away. I think there's still good positives to take away from the Baku weekend, because the pace was really good, and we made good progress as a team, and we started the weekend very competitively on the Friday. So yeah, I mean, these things happen. You just gotta move on. We arrived here early, so we kind of started our preparation on Tuesday, and it's a very exciting event. So happy to be here, and looking forward to see what we can do this weekend.
And Nick, 3 of the opening 4 races this year are street tracks. This is another one, of course. That's a pretty unforgiving calendar for a rookie. Does it make it hard, the fact that we've had so few permanent racetracks for you?
I mean, ultimately it's the same for everybody. I don't really like to look for excuses. It is the way it is, and we know that street tracks have little margin, and when you put a small step wrong, then that has consequences.
All right. Well, Nick, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you
Let's
very
hope
much.
it goes better for you. Esteban, let's come on to you now. Now, you took a detour via Charlotte en route to Miami. How much did you enjoy driving that NASCAR?
I did enjoy massively. It was awesome just to have an experience in a proper NASCAR, the new generation cars as well, and it was not just like a small run on a demo car or anything like that. It was like proper new tires, and yeah, they properly throw the full experience on it. So we did some drag racing as well. So not only NASCAR, we had the full American racing experience, and yeah, that was very nice.
And dinner with Jimmy Butler from Miami Heat as well. You're getting the full American sports experience.
Yeah, it was just amazing. Just to be able to chat with him about his career, how he has evolved as an athlete, and he's one of the top guys out there. So just to be able to share some of that has been a great thing for me. And yeah, I'm having the full experience. I'm enjoying Miami very much. I entered the track with Vin Diesel earlier, so it's pretty crazy.
Look, let's bring it on track. Alpine comes here after a difficult weekend in Baku. Just what is the vibe in the team as we get underway this weekend?
Yeah, I think we obviously leave that weekend behind. We try and focus on the positive that we had, which is that the updates that we had were working. We didn't use it the proper way and the way it should have been. Doing only 3 laps in FP1 and just fixing the setup from there on has been very tricky, for us. So, we didn't use the car the proper way. We didn't optimize it, and we couldn't really see the performance of the car. But, we have 3 sessions here to turn things around, bounce back, and that's what we're looking to do.
All right. Best of luck with that.
Thank you.
you, Esteban. Charles, if we come on to you now. So, if you can conquer America, Charles, the music world is your oyster.
If they are ready to be into depressing music, then I'm probably the one to go to. Yeah, I mean, my music is not that good. I am a racing driver, and I did that out of fun. And I released the first music before Azerbaijan. I'm releasing the second one after Miami, and yeah, it's something I enjoy though.
2 million listens, I think.
Everywhere you go, you have a piano with you?
No, I've checked. Actually, we spoke about this with Nick because Nick is also playing the piano. Starting.
We actually have the same teacher, but Charles doesn't go anymore.
Yeah, exactly. No, the piano are too small. I mean, too big to travel with. There are some small ones, but it's not good enough to travel with it. So
I can feel we got a band on our hands here, the Formula One band.
Sure.
yeah.
Logan, what do you got for us?
I'm not singing.
Nothing to do with music.
Look, Charles, let's bring it on track quickly. A much better weekend for you in Baku than the opening 3 races. Just how much of a shot in the arm was last weekend, and what can we expect from you here?
Yeah, it was good. After the first 3 races, it was really bad. I mean, we obviously were very unlucky in Bahrain, being in third and having that technical issue, already a penalty for the second race, and then the DNF with the incident with Lance in Australia. So couldn't be worse. But in Azerbaijan, it went really well. We had our first pole, which is great. I think it confirms how strong of a car we have, especially in qualifying. But then in the race, it confirms a little bit our weaknesses, that we still need to work on our race pace, as the Red Bull is just too strong for now.
Some upgrades this weekend. Do you think that'll bring you closer to Red Bull?
Should go in the right direction. I don't think it will be enough to fight with them, but it will go in the right direction, I'm sure.
All right. Charles, best of luck to you. Thank you for your time. George, coming to you. How's Miami?
Yeah, it's good. But I think it's for all of us. It's fun to come in here, liking the atmosphere, staying in South Beach and nice run down the coast, and it's going to be a good weekend.
How difficult is it to acclimatise to the heat and the humidity here?
it's definitely tricky for sure. I think last year for all of us it was one of the toughest races of the season, but I think it's exciting when it's difficult. Nobody wants an easy ride, and gives you an opportunity to do something better than the rest. But it's for sure when you're sat in that car for almost 2 hours, you're sweating it out.
Look, tell us about that car. 2 races ago, you qualified on the front row in Australia. Last weekend in Baku, you were out in Q2. Can you explain that to people who don't understand?
I'm not too sure. It's fine margins. I think, we missed out on Q3 by 4 milliseconds, and that would have been a totally different story had we got into Q3, and probably could have qualified inside the top 6. But clearly, our car isn't quick enough. We need to continue to do a better job. And we'll go again this weekend. Hopefully, it'll be a slightly smoother weekend, and we can battle out with Aston and Ferrari.
All right. Best of luck with that. Let's open this to the floor. Name and publication as ever, please. Yep.
David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Question for you, George. Good afternoon to you. We saw in Baku you and Max having a little altercation in the pit lane, and you expressed your apologies and he expressed his views. After that, do you change the way you race against Max now, or do you keep racing exactly the same way that you always would?
No, I'll continue racing the same way as I always would. I mean, a lot's been said about that coming together, but from my side, it was pretty straightforward. Went for a move, got the move done, and moved on. And obviously he was pretty upset about it, but that's racing, and these things happen, and we're all here to fight. So that's what F1's about.
From F1 to Q1, adapt as a team to win. Formula One on Sky Sports, sponsored by Workday, a finance and HR system.
I keep my home fresh with Febreze 3 Volution plug-in. And I use this. Febreze has smart programming to digitally control how much scent is released, so you never stop noticing.
Right. There we are. Right, so gone on to a break now. And yes, Joshua's just going to make sure I've done the right thing. Well, yes, I do actually know how to work this. I was just... I think he tripped. Right. So that's been an interesting press conference so far. I love the little joke that there was about Charles singing, given he released a song, and I feel like I'm getting backlash on the microphones, though. Oh well. At least there's some sound. Though I'm going to go through some of the F1 news. I'm going to pick it at random as well, so it'll be a surprise to both of us. Well, all of us. I'm going to refresh the page. Okay. I've picked the Red Bull livery that they've got for Miami, and it looks like they've unveiled the first of the 3 fan-designed liveries for 2023. And hold on, let me just see if I can get well, I'm just gonna put that here. Hold on. That's the livery. It's very difficult doing that with 2 things in every hand. It's just so complicated. Right, so just reading through it at the same time. I don't know whether I should read through each and every single line to you, or just what I think's most important. What are... I think these are all the pictures close up of it. Ooh. I'll just show you all the close-up pictures of it now, because I found that. Joshua's screen is so clean. A lot cleaner than mine. Right, so I'm just going to read the entire thing until we come back to the driver's press conference. Right, so they announced in February during the launch of the RB19. Oh, I remember that launch very well. I think it's on the channel as well, actually. It is on the channel. They announced that they would release 3 fan peg designs across a campaign at Miami, Austin, and Las Vegas. So we've got each time we're at America, we've got a new design to look forward to, and it's ahead of the second running of Miami. The first Make Your Mark designs will adorn Max Verstappen and Sergio's. Oh, and we're back on. I got so into the article.
I definitely prefer that than sitting around somewhere talking.
Were you on the road course or were you on the oval?
I was on the road course, yeah.
Good fun.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
It's just Miami vibes, isn't it? And I'm seeing that you've got a new helmet this weekend. You've got a new car livery. You're fully engrossed in it, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, we had that competition, of course, for every US Grand Prix that they can design a bit of our car. So I think that came out quite nicely. And then, you plan the helmet. It's just a nice place to be. It's pretty relaxed in terms of the atmosphere. Of course, it's quite busy for us throughout the week, but we always enjoy getting down here.
What about the on-track performance? The team comes from Baku, where you guys were incredibly strong. Do you see it as another weekend like that, a 2-horse race between you and Checo?
I hope so. I think the car is very quick. But let's see. I mean, we know in qualifying it's close, but in the race normally our car is pretty good.
And what about the race? How tough is 57 laps of this place in the heat and the humidity? You all look like you'd had a good workout after the race last year.
Yeah, it was very tough, very humid. I do feel so far it's maybe a little bit colder. I mean, it's still warm, but let's see once we sit in the cars. But I expect it to be a tough weekend. Yeah.
All right. Best of luck to you. Thank you, Max. Lando, let's come to you. Now we've talked about. Seems everyone's got a new helmet design this weekend, but specifically you had one here last year. You've got another one. Just talk us through it.
Well, we had to try and up one on a basketball, which was a fan favorite last year. So we had to try and come up with something that we thought could compete with that, which is tough. We thought of doing a golf ball, but we'll let Alex do that one, and we came up with a beach ball. So just something fun, it's a nice place just to do something like that. And I wouldn't say it's a trend of something I'll do here every year, but people seem to like it last year, so we wanted to do the same.
Do you guys get together and discuss what your designs are going to be? Because had you come up with the golf ball, then there would have been a bit of a clash, wouldn't there?
Well, we had the same designers. I guess we have the same guy who kind of puts it together. So, I would have done it. Maybe. I don't know. Next time. I'm sure there'll be some point where it clashes, but I'll just to make sure mine's better than what his would have been.
Look, what about the car then? It seems McLaren's got its mojo back. The upgrades in Baku last weekend were strong. You were in the points on merit. Do you feel that the season starts now?
The season started a few races ago, but I guess we're playing a little bit of catch up from where we should have been, honestly. I think we have a good, let's say, baseline to really work from now, more confidence to be able to work from where we are. But we've not had a bad year. I know people keep saying we've had a bad year and such a terrible start, and I guess we have, if we want to say we want to win races and so on. But we should have scored points in the first race of the season. We potentially could have scored them in the second. We just got unlucky with the damage and things like that. And then we've had a good race in Australia and a better race in Baku. So nothing's bad. I think we're just in that middle spot at the minute, and it's close between us, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Haas at times, Alfa Romeo. Everyone is there or thereabouts. So it's just a close battle. One day we'll look a bit better, and the next day we'll look a little bit worse. But it's enjoyable.
What's possible going forward, but specifically this weekend?
Just I guess similar to where we were. I don't expect too many more things. The car's the same as last weekend, so maybe just trying to understand the new parts that we brought into Baku, which I think we have. So maybe exploit them a little bit more. The rest is just try and get a couple points. You know, we have 4 teams which are considerably ahead of where we are. Every now and then we can maybe get close, but comes to the race and they're another league comparing to us. So we're kind of fighting for 9th and 10th at the minute, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the small points will add up.
Even with the upgrade, do you think you've got 4 teams considerably ahead of where you are?
Yeah, I think that was proven in the race in Baku.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good luck this weekend. Joe, it's been a busy week for everybody in Formula One, but specifically you. Talk us through it from the moment you left the paddock.
Went home on Sunday night, and then one day I went to a concert of my friend JJ, and then had a bit of fun, just one day of rest, and then straight back to Miami. So went to the baseball game for the first ever time in Miami Marlins, and it's actually the first ever time for me to throw a baseball. I have to do it on the first pitch, so yeah, it was a higher chance of me bottle it and rather than throw it into the player. So but I made it stick, so yeah, it was all good. It was a great experience. But no, it's great to see, like, I don't know, the stadium is kind of like a cinema, you know, people going like nice fast foods, popcorns, and just like they enjoy that with their family. So it's great to see.
And did JJ Lin pull you up onto the stage on Monday night?
Luckily not, because I'm not as good as him as singer. So, but yeah, he did shout to my name, but obviously, unfortunately, I was covered into the crowded fan he had, so the camera couldn't really get to my face. But no, it was a great concert. I really loved it, and he's doing his world tour, obviously. So
yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. What about the business end of your time in Miami then? Where is the performance of the Alfa Romeo at the minute? It was a difficult weekend last time out, wasn't it?
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's clear, you know, we are not exactly where we want to be as a team. And let's say Australia, we got a bit lucky with all the red flags, staying out of the trouble. But in general, you know, people bring updates and seems to be working like in a bigger range compared to us. And yeah, Baku obviously also here we have the same, basically same car, and we have to kind of just making sure that we can get over all the issues we had in Baku, and clearly it wasn't a competitive enough weekend for us, and we do struggle a lot, especially in the race. You know, just to the guys who are racing normally, like the Haas Williams, they seem to be pick up some decent pace through Baku, which we didn't. So, but here's a completely different layout of the track, so it's another story. But yeah, we need to keep pushing and keep working and bringing more upgrades.
And do you feel there's a bit of unfinished business here in Miami after your early retirement last year?
Yeah, also it's quite a bit of unfinished business in Baku, you know, two years in a row not finished the race, but also last year here, I enjoyed my race up to that point. So yeah, looking forward to, hopefully complete the whole race and also fighting for points.
Best of luck. Thank you very much, Joe. Lance, if we can come to you now. How's Miami? Talk us through it. How's your week been? Any concerts? Any baseball games?
No concerts, no baseball games. Yeah, no, I mean, it's been great. Been hanging out on the beach and, yeah, working on my tan.
Acclimatizing, is that what we call it?
Yeah, acclimatizing. Come on, man, it's there.
Now, Lance, what about your racing car? It was another very strong weekend for Aston Martin in Baku, wasn't it? It feels like this is the norm for you guys now. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we got off to a bit of a difficult start. Qualifying on Friday wasn't amazing, but then we picked up the pace on Sunday, and we were able to challenge the Ferraris, and then I was in the mix with the Mercedes, but we had much better pace on Sunday than we did at the start of the weekend, which I think was great, and we managed to pick up some good points. So yeah, looking forward to this weekend.
Are you getting impatient for a podium this year? Sakir 2020 feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, it is a long time ago. For sure. I mean, I definitely want to be on the podium, but, I'm just going to keep driving my car as fast as I can, and you know, if it happens when it happens, great. And you know, I mean, my job behind the wheel, you know, stays the same.
Do you think this will be a stronger weekend for the team here, if that's possible, than it was in Baku?
I hope so. I mean, I think Baku was one of our more difficult tracks. Like just coming into the weekend, looking at the layout of the track, you know, a lot of long straights, and we haven't been particularly competitive on like the longer straights. And you know, coming here, it looks like on paper it could be a little bit better for us, but we'll wait and see.
All right, Lance, many thanks. Best of luck to you. Nico, thank you for waiting. Coming to you now. There's some serious Miami vibes going on at Haas at the moment. You've got new race suits for this weekend. You've got yourself a new helmet. You've got some new slacks on for our press conference this afternoon. It's all, you're loving it.
Yeah, it's not just all for you, Tom. It's a little bit for everyone. But yeah, we are the American team. You know, it's one of our 3 home races, and big commercial race for us, obviously, as well. And yeah, we're putting in the effort.
Now, it's your first race at the Miami International Autodrome. You were here last year doing some laps in road cars. How useful are those, or will it feel like a completely different racetrack when you attack it in a Formula One car for the first time?
I still have to do some learning. Obviously, it's better than nothing. You know, having done a few laps in a road car last year, which was, you know, good fun on top of that. But of course, you know, you have to explore the track with a Formula One car. Some minor changes as well from last year. So look forward, explore it. It looks quite fun on paper in the simulator. It felt nice too. It's got a good flow to it. So yeah, looking forward to get out there and get sweaty.
And what about the performance? Do you think you'll be stronger here than you were in Baku?
Baku was a tricky weekend for us for different reasons. I do believe that here this track should suit us, or is going to suit us better. So yeah, I think as everyone knows, the midfield is very tight. You know, you've got to pull it all together, make no mistakes. But I believe that if we can all get it together, that we can be in the points on Sunday.
Now, Nico, last one from me. First time you've been in the press conference since the April break, when you set a PB in the Mallorca half marathon. Are you going to share with us your time, or if you're not prepared to do that, just tell us about your running journey and how long has it been an integral part of your training?
It still was a 10-kilometer race. There's a difference between 10 kilometers and a half marathon. Do you know?
That is
true. I'm not aware. I don't know.
Thank you.
But it was so the target was sub 40 minutes on 10 kilometers, which I've achieved.
Very good. And have you always been a runner?
Pretty much. The day, you know, I was a little bigger when I was young, but when my dad started to invest in me and you know, it got serious, he said, son, you gotta lose some weight, and he set me running. And ever since, I stuck with it.
Great story. Thank you, Nico. Thanks to all of you. Right, let's open this to the floor. Who's got our first question, please? Name and publication.
David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Question for you all. On the subject of DRS after Baku, George Russell was just in here saying the drivers haven't really been consulted about shortening DRS zones. So here's your chance to air your views now. And I know the FIA decide these things a long way in advance, but do we need shorter DRS zones, or would you prefer longer DRS zones? Does it make the racing better when we have more DRS zones? What's your thought on the topic of DRS at the moment?
Max?
Well, I would prefer, of course, that we could race without DRS, but that's not possible. I think for us, of course, it's a little bit different. I mean, if the car is faster than the one, let's say when you have to come through the field from the back, it doesn't really matter how long the zone is, you will get the car ahead. But when the pace is within a 2 tenths, you could see that in Baku. I think once you're a bit of a DRS train, there's no chance. And even when the leading car of the train, like the DRS zone is just not big enough to have a run. So, yeah, what is that? Is that the DRS zone is too short? Are the cars not good enough to follow closely? I think it's a bit of a combination of both, where the cars are probably too heavy, they're too stiff, so you can't really run a curb to try and find a bit of a different line, because it's all quite... Everyone is driving more or less the same line nowadays because of just how the cars work and how stiff the suspension is. And yeah, probably now with, you know, people are finding more and more downforce in the cars, it probably becomes a bit harder to follow as well.
I I don't think I have too many things to add. I think Max explained it pretty well, to be honest. We've been through it. I think it has been discussed. We discussed it already last week. And I know they shortened it here again in the two zones. I mean, we're the slowest on the straights, so I would love DRS in every chance we have. Yeah, I think it's something to just review. You know, I think if we look back at last year, maybe at times you could have shortened it, but as cars evolve and get more downforce, generally it always makes the racing a little bit worse, which is kind of led a little bit down that path. Cars are becoming more efficient at the same time, so you need that little extra to help you. So it just needs to be re-reviewed, you know, and not to use data from last year, but just have the look at what's been happening this year and kind of then review it. So in my opinion, probably extend, but depends who you're racing, you know. If Red Bull doesn't even need DRS, and for us, we need everything we got in a way. So it depends who you're racing against and some of the differences. But there'll be some races which will be a lot better, and some races which are tougher. And like Max said, you know, there's certain things we're just not able to do nowadays that we could do maybe a few years ago, which made it easier to overtake, like take curbs and do different lines and things like that. So it's not as simple as just DRS. You know, there's many things to try and improve and do better. But yeah, we're talking and we're trying to do what we can to make it better for the sport. Sure.
Yeah, to be honest, not much to add from my side. Obviously, very similar to Lando, you know, where we're racing. I think we need, you know, the extra DRS zones, so to be more following closely, because most of the races being like a DRS train so far, the last few events, especially for us, try to clamp back on the field is almost like impossible unless somebody makes a major mistake, which doesn't really happen too often right now in Formula One. So yeah, from my side, I agree we need to have a look, because last year where we were, you know, there's a teams of, like for us, where it was well under the weight limit, and then we gain some advantage, and then looks maybe too much, but then yeah, for this year they gain downforce, more sliding, following closely by. So I think I'm more happier, obviously, to extend. I think just for better racing, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think in an ideal world, we wouldn't have to rely on DRS to, you know, help overtaking. I would love to see the nature of the tracks. A lot of the tracks that we go to just give us more of an opportunity to overtake, and the nature of the cars, you know, give us more of an opportunity to overtake. But you know, I definitely think it's something that, as a group of drivers and with the FIA, I think it's important that we speak about the DRS zones at, you know, each track, and give ourselves the best possible like opportunity to race every weekend and pass, and you know, actually do something on Sunday. You know, I think it's very track dependent. You know, we go to Baku and overtaking's you know, a lot easier than Monaco, for example, and I think just having DRS you know, in the right places and have the right length of DRS for each track to give us you know, an exciting race on Sunday. I think that's something you know, we all want to see. We always want to see overtaking on Sunday. So I don't remember how overtaking was here last year, but I mean, was it bad? It was bad. So yeah, I don't know why they shortened it, but maybe that's something we need to chat about.
All right, thank you. Hulk?
It's all been said.
Sky Sports F1. Feel it all.
From F1 to Q1, speed and agility take pole position.
Right, so I'm pretty sure that's the end of the press conference now, because Joshua told me that when it's off. Yeah, it's the end of the press conference now. Sometimes I get lost in where everything is. Do you know when people just are like speaking and then you just like, what was the question? I get like that when I'm watching a press conference. That was certainly a very interesting press conference. Nice to know that they're all... I feel like they're all kind of both excited and nervous for Miami. It's like I get that sense off them all. Right, so thank you for joining me, and it's Joshua at the start. this very much delayed press conference. Seriously, what was all that on about? I've been here for an hour. I should only have been here for like half an hour. Honestly, I think they need to get everything in order. Right, so thank you for joining me and Joshua today. And do go over to PSGL, where Joshua is also commentating. Well, in a team of commentating right now for qualifying. If it's still going on, I'm not sure how long it lasts there. Right, so thank you for watching and goodbye.